Hey, Max Leads. People often ask me, how does exercise help change your mood if you're not in the mood to even work out in the first place? Well, it definitely sounds like it's a very hard question to answer, but it's definitely not. Because the reality of the situation is that the way that we move now is usually a way of also how we think. So there's a pattern of movement that we tend to follow, and a lot of times our movement also influences the way we think and vice versa. So sometimes we'll have a thought, and that thought translates into an action. But then we also get feedback from our environment, and that feedback from our environment also influences our thoughts as well. So regardless of whatever's going on, you're still moving and you're still conducting some sort of movement. So if you actually focused on, let's say, a particular exercise and just did a couple of reps of that, that could actually change or break the pattern that you're doing. So let me give you an example. So let's just say right now, you're feeling, let's say, upset about something, or you're feeling bothered about something, and or someone upset you, and you want to get out of that state. Well, the first thing you want to do is you need to break the pattern of what you're doing. So what is it that you do when you're angry? Does your face tense up? Do you pace back and forth? Do you talk to yourself? Or do you ramble? There are different things that you may do. So in that moment, if you just execute an exercise, that would just break your state. So let's say you did burpees. Everybody hates burpees, so that's a perfect one to start with. So let's just say you start banging out a couple of burpees and you just do 10 burpees. In that moment of after you've done those 10 burpees, your mind is now trying to make sense of this break in state. Now, to you, it might sound very simple, like, oh, that's not a big deal, I just did some burpees. But to your mind and your body, that's a break in the pattern. So it's trying to make sense of what this new pattern is that you just did. And in that moment, that's when you have the opportunity to think differently. That's when you have the opportunity to create change. So now in that moment when you're, huffing and puffing after you just, did 10 burpees, you can start to really ask yourself those questions like, well, what exactly am I upset about? What exactly angered me about, let's say, this person or about this situation? And then you can start to break down the feelings in that moment, because you would be in a state that's different from that angered state. The anger or the angry state is a very disempowering state, and it's very hard for you to solve a problem when you're already angry. So the best thing to do is to just do 10 reps of a random exercise that's going to get you huffing and puffing to break your state, and then from there see what you can do to start breaking down those feelings and see how that will bring you into a new state. All right, till next time, guys. Max out.